Hi everybody, welcome back to the LDRS Creative Studio. Very excited to be here with you guys tonight. I'm glad we're able to be here with you guys tonight with this big old storm that's brewing. We are here in Michigan, and so far where we are, we're pretty good. I think we just have rain right now and temperatures are dropping, but I know it's pretty bad in other parts of the country and stuff, so hopefully if any of you are watching, that are watching, if you guys are in one of those areas, please stay indoors, stay safe, stay warm. So anyway, looks like we have a lot of people coming in. We've got Carol here from Southwest Michigan. Oh, thank you, Margie. She likes my sweater. And I saw that your prize from last week arrived, so yay! Hopefully we will see some of your creative makes. If you want to share them in our Facebook group, that would be lovely. We'd love to see what you do. Angel is here. Hey, y'all. Kathleen Finnegan is also here. Thank you for the compliment on the sweater. It's one of my favorite sweaters. So, boy, if you guys like it, I might have to wear it more often. Regan is here. Merry Christmas. Who we've got? Will. What does it say? NT Kendall from, where'd it go? From Maryland. Will is here tonight. Hi, Will. Andrea is here from Quebec. Who else is here? Helen from Pittsburgh. Oh, Angel, it says you're saying that you have frozen snow there in Squamish. Is that how you say it? Oh, Lori's here from Kalkaska, Michigan. Very cool. Hi, Lori. Welcome. Looks like Carol is here from St. Joseph. I'm guessing St. Joe, Michigan. That's pretty cool. Oh, and what do we have here? Eeyore Quilts? That's a cool name. From Ithaca, Michigan. A lot of Michiganders here tonight. Very cool. Cindy Patty is here. Jerry, you also live in Michigan. I know that we saw several people from Canada as well. So welcome, everybody. I know I saw Sandy Yee, who is also in Michigan. So I love seeing everybody come in. Thank you so much. Beth Ballone is here. Very cool. Love it, love it, love it. Patty Redmond from Troy, Michigan. Not very far from us at all. Like probably just a few minutes. Phyllis is here from Rochester, New York. Virginia, from Virginia. Let's see, Rita from Tennessee. Phyllis, Rochester, I've already got you there. Who else is here? Wynn. And oh, it says, oh, love your sweater, thank you. Ariel is here from Montreal. Cheryl from Southern California. I love that you guys are all letting me know where you are. This is so great, so much fun. If I missed some of your names, I'm so sorry. I'm doing the best I can. Carol says that, she says, I went to high school in Kalkaska. All right. Okay, we're going to get rolling. So let's see. Tonight we're actually, we're not going to be doing Christmas tonight. We're actually going to be doing a Valentine's Day card. Yay. Because I'm already on to Valentine's. So I made a card for Scrapbooking Cards Today magazine. They had contacted me and wanted to know of some new products that we had going on, and I kind of gave them a sneak peek of something. They loved it, and I made a card, and it ended up in one of their top 10 products. So that was pretty cool. And so I thought that I would show you how I made the card. I actually made a version of this card for like around fall, for like a Thanksgiving time. And but I'm going to show you how I made this one. I am going to change it up slightly. I'm going to change the background dyes on it. But this was actually made with this new this November collection. So we're going to switch the camera right now. My husband, Alan, who you guys may or may not know, but Alan here is switching the camera for me. This is the card that I made, and you can see how it has that beautiful lacquered look. So for those of you that didn't see me do that in the fall card that I had made, I'm going to show you once again how that was done. I think it is so cool, and it's one of my favorite things. And we actually, last week we had worked with the thank you flowers, and that's what I used here. We also have in the background here the plaid layering dies, but I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to go back to it was actually our very first set of layering dies, and it was the modern geometric, because I thought it would be really pretty to show a different background with it. So we're going to get rolling with it. I did a lot of the work ahead of time just because there are a lot of steps to this card. So I wouldn't say I did a lot of the work. I've done a lot of the die cutting already, so you guys don't have to sit and watch me die cut constantly. But let me show you everything that we've got in this set, or in this card. So we've got the Big Word. I'm actually using the Big Word die set. I'm not using the stamp set, but I always like to show you that we do have it available in a stamp. So you can actually use either of these by themselves. You can mix and match. The love the love and all of the words for the stamp are the same size as the die. It's the same size as the love die. But it's this outer die, that shadow die, that you can actually use to to put behind both the die, as well as you can use it to cut out the stamp as well. So they work really beautifully together, and we've got a little sample on the back of the die set here. So you can really see what they look like when they're colored up too. So we're going to be using the Big Word Love die. I already mentioned we're going to be using the Thankful Flowers. If you missed last week's card, or last week, you can still catch it on YouTube. It is a good idea. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, I recommend that you do, because we put out, we always announce these Thursday night classes. We run them on Facebook and stuff like that, so everybody knows about them. But we also put out other videos, tutorials on a weekly basis on YouTube that we don't necessarily advertise those. They come out all the time, but it really just kind of gives you a lot of tips and tricks and hints, and shows you different ways that you can use your new products when you get them home. But the way that you'll know that a new video is there is if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, it'll automatically give you an email notification that we've put a new video out, so you won't miss anything. So anyway, we're going to be using the Thank You Flowers. That video is still replaying. If you want to go see it, you can check it out. And here you can see on the back what these look like. I am going to be doing this for you again tonight, but we're going to do a little bit faster. And then, of course, here's the coordinating die set. We've mapped out on the back. We always map out on the back which dies go with which stamps to make it really easy for you guys. When you get them home, you can see exactly how you're going to position your dies. And then, you remember this one, the modern geometric cover plates? Oh my goodness, this was our very first one. Love this set. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to be using, so I've cut them all. We're going to play a little bit there, but the way that these work is we've got cover plate 1, 2, and 3. They can all be used individually, and you can also mix and match them in any combination that you want. So if this is your favorite, cover plate 1 is your favorite, and that's the only one that you want, or you get that and you can use that to your heart's content. You don't need anything else. If you can do the same thing with 2 and with 3. But if you have any combination of them, they can be mixed in any order. And they're designed very carefully so that as you layer these, in whichever order, you will always get a different combination. You'll be basically yielding different patterns. So they create different patterns because you can always see bits and pieces of all 3 of these no matter how you layer them up. I'm going to show you that a little bit more once we get moving, but I wanted to show you the products that we're going to be working with. So I'm going to start off with the Thank You Flowers. If you remember last week, this was what I had left over. And I thought to myself, I'm just going to work with what I have here. But then I remembered, and when I looked at my card, I remembered I used the same colors, but I did the stamping just a little bit different in order to give a little more detail. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how I got that slightly different look in there. I'm only going to be working with the flowers, or stamping with the flowers tonight in die cutting. I'm not going to do the leaves because I already have enough of those. But they don't layer anyway. So I'm going to show you how this, oh, wow, that was loud. Sorry about that. Let's hope I didn't scratch my glass. Are you wanting to ask me something, Alan? No. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started with this. Now, all of the white cardstock that I'm using is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White 110-pound cardstock, so it is thick. Do you have to use thick cardstock like this for everything? No. I like to. I think it is the most versatile of all of the white cardstocks that I've ever used. I like to use it for my card bases. It gives me a good, solid, heavy card base. That means that, if I want to stand it up on a table or a mantle or something like that, it's not, sometimes when you have the thinner cardstock for your cards, when you stand them up, they will actually start to curl or bend like that from the weight of your card. And I don't like that, so I like to use a nice, heavy cardstock. It's also great for stamping. It's fantastic when die cutting. You're not going to get all kinds of little, pieces and of like little fuzzy edges and stuff like that with this because it's a really good crisp and thick cardstock. So it's my favorite. It's also great for color blending. So I use it for everything. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started with this. I'm going to be using in this set these 4 stamps right here. Let me get my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. So whenever you're solid stamping, you're solid layering, you know, like layered stamping, I should say. You're going to start with the largest one. That's going to be your lightest color. Then you go to the next largest, and so on and so on. But you always want your lightest color on the bottom, and then I'm going to go darker with each layer that I put over it, unless I change colors, which is what I'm going to do on the center with these here. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this largest one here. So let's get this out. Now we've designed these so that you get all the flowers on one stamp. We've also got it set up with the dies, so you're going to cut them all out at the same time with one die. Try and make it really easy, as quick, and as painless as possible. Okay, so, wow, all of a sudden my nose is feeling stuffy. I'm so sorry. I'm noticing it in how I sound. Okay, so let me get my colors out here. I'm going to be working with 2 shades of pink. One of them is Pink Tutu, and the other is going to be Lipstick Jungle. And let me mute the sound for just a moment.
You're on.
Okay, sorry about that. I had to blow my nose. I don't know, all of a sudden it's this weather change, I think. I didn't want to sound like that through the whole thing. Okay, so we're starting off with this. We're going to start with the lightest color, which is Pink Tutu. And I'm using a hybrid ink, which is a combination ink. It's a combination of a pigment and a dye ink. These are going to work beautifully for layering up my colors as well. I love how hybrid inks layer. So I'm going to ink that up really well. Where's my Stampendable? It's in my drawer. Here's my Stampendable. I'm going to give that a moment to kind of soak into the paper just a little bit. I'm not pushing very hard at all. Just want to give that some even pressure. And I'm going to leave it there with that color. Now, the way that these hybrid inks are going to work, this hybrid ink it's still pretty wet. Hybrid ink has a longer dry time. So that's going to even out a little bit as it dries. It's also going to kind of get a little bit softer in color as it dries, which is really, really pretty. But I'm going to take my Lipstick Jungle, which is my next darkest pink. Excuse me. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of go a little bit around some of the edges. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Some of the edges of my flowers here. Just a tiny little bit. All right. So that's going to give me a little bit of variation in that color. Let that soak in for a moment. And look how pretty that is. So now we have just an added layer of like color and texture in there. So I'm going to go ahead with my Extreme Clean and I'm going to get the excess off of my stamp. I've got a little bit of water here and I'm just going to wipe that up. That's going to make sure that I don't have extra residue left on my stamp for the next time. Because when you're working with a lot of your inks, a lot of your ink pads, and the different brands, the different types of ink, hybrid is one of them, they will reactivate each other. So I want to make sure that I've got a good clean stamp when I go to add another color to it. So So I'm going to add that back. And now I'm going to go to my next stamp, which is going to give me that beautiful veining and that detail. Was there a question you want me to answer up there?
When is the next sale for ink pads?
Ooh.
Maybe when we have re-inkers.
Oh boy, I got to get those re-inkers in the store. I know I say that all the time, but I really need to do it.
It's Linnea's fault.
It is. It's all Linnea's fault.
Yes. So when is the next sale on ink pads?
Here's what I will tell you. I don't have a date set right now because you're just asking me right now. Here's what I would say. Sign up for, do the email sign up on our website. Go to our website. If the little window doesn't pop up, go all the way down to the bottom. It'll say be in the know. Type your email in there. You're going to get notifications. That is the best way to know whatever is going on. But you know what? We will do one, and we'll do it really, really soon. Let me put it that way. But I don't have a date for you right now. But I would say sign up there. You'll always know what's happening. You'll be the first to know what's happening. I'm just making sure this is lined up right as I look through this. So I can look through my stamp. I'm going to move this over just a tiny little bit there. Okay. But yeah, we will do one. So Linnea, make note of that. We'll do one soon. And give me a little reminder about the re-inkers as well.
It'd be nice to know what they want as a sale.
What do you mean, what they want?
Do they want the whole collection? Do they want small?
I don't have many of the, we don't have many of the small ones anymore.
No, I mean smaller collections. Or do they want individual inks?
Okay, so the color I'm using now is Lipstick Jungle. That is the same color that I did on the edges of the first one. I'm going to do this a second time, just so that is really good and rich and dark. So that's another wonderful thing with your hybrid inks. You can layer that color and darken it, and look how great that looks. Isn't that beautiful? So, so pretty. Again, I'm going to clean with my Extreme Clean. I could do this later. I don't have to do it right now, but I'll forget. I don't know about you guys, but I will definitely forget, and I'll be reminded when I go to stamp this in yellow and it picks up the pink that I left on there, and I won't be happy. So, alrighty, let's go ahead and put this one away. Now, the next two stamps, we've got two more stamps here. We have this one here that is solid, and then we have this other one that has the detail. So I'm going to go to my next solid stamp. This one is going to stamp the centers, all those little centers. Oh no, I just got something on there. Oh well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. Now this one actually has, this flower actually has a little bit of leaf to it. But I'm not going to do it with a leaf. I think I'm going to do it with the pink at the bottom instead, which I haven't done before, so I don't know how it's going to look. So I have those lined up. I need a yellow, so I'm going to do this beautiful banana cream pie in the center. These two on the outside here are the centers of these two flowers, okay? So I'm going to get those with my yellow. There we go. Look how pretty. I'm going to do one more just to darken it up a little bit. All right, so that really shows nicely. And then I think, you know what, I am going to do the green. Alan, do me a favor. Bottom left corner of the green's right there.
Here.
Yep, that one right there.
Oh.
Did it almost come crashing down? Olive branch. I'm going to get this center one here with the olive branch. There we go. Oops, I didn't ink that up very well. do a better job. Try that again. Okay. So next, I'm going to go ahead and clean these. And then we have just one more layer for the flowers. So the next layer is going to be the center of my flowers. It's also going to be a little bit of detail on that the green that is around that flower. We're also going to get the center of this flower here. Little buggers are sticking to me. Come here, you. Work with me. I think that looks pretty good. All right, we're going to go with that. I don't want to get my head in the camera because, well, it doesn't always look so good. So I'm going to go with this green. I would normally go with a really, actually, you know what? Give me that really dark green that was up above it, Alan, because I want to catch, yeah, that's the one. I want people to really see the detail.
Yeah,
here you go.
Go
so this one is called Evergreen. So I'm going to do that one first. It's just going to give me a little bit of detail. Makes all the difference. Just look at that little bit right there. It's so, so cool looking. Now I'm going to get the yellow in the center of this flower here. And I grabbed my green. That's great. Boy, am I glad I noticed that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that because I just got green on here. And I don't want green in the center of that flower. I would not be a happy camper. So let me get that wiped up. Gotta make sure I get all the, oh, for goodness sake, what am I doing? I'm making a mess. I gotta lay this over it again because I moved it and then it was kind of wet from the cleaner. So this is just what you have to go through sometimes. Move that over from there. I think I got it. I think so. We're going to see. All right, where's my yellow now? So here's my yellow again. It's banana cream pie, which I love banana cream pie. Boy, I could use banana cream. Oh, I moved it again. What is wrong with me? I think I got it all wet on the back side, and that's why it's not right. All right, we're going to try this again. I think I got everything wet because that did not stay. Oh, my. You know, this only happens when I'm doing this with you guys, right? This is all planned so you guys can see how mistakes happen. Right, sure. All right, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to press down on that, make sure I don't move it again. Make sure it's pressed on there. Okay. Ink it up yet again. Let's see how we do. Hope I get it in the right spot. I don't think I did. I think I'm going to move that over ever so slightly, just a tiny little bit. See if that's better. It's the really great thing about being able to move these because the polymer is so, it's soft, so it kind of bends. And I don't want to get my head right in the camera there. Oof. Trying not to anyway. I think I just did. I hate doing that. Okay, let's try this and see if we get it better. I know. There you go. Now I got it. I know. I keep putting I just don't like to have my head in the camera for you guys. It's just, I don't know. I just don't think it looks very good. All right, so now I've got my raven, and we're going to get the little centers. These two are the centers of these other flowers. that texture in the middle. Look how pretty. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get those cleaned. All right. Put this one away. And then that is going to be all the stamping that we're doing. There we go. So I'm going to put my inks all away so that I don't end up with a mess somewhere, because that is just what would happen. And then next up, we're going to get that die out, and Alan is going to come over here and do some die cutting with me. Oh, looks like Sheila Fisher is here now. Hi, Sheila. And I see Sharon Gullickson, Kimberly McDaniel. Welcome, everybody.
I think if you show up late, you got to bring sugar cookies.
Alan says if you show up late, you got to bring sugar cookies. I thought you would want iced cookies, or you want iced sugar cookies.
Exactly. Somebody was saying that they were late because they were icing.
Oh, somebody's late because they're icing cookies.
But I didn't see anywhere where they were.
Yeah, I didn't see any cookies. Did you see cookies? I haven't seen
No.
cookies yet.
I haven't seen anything,
If you're making cookies, you got to share. It's not fair.
especially if you're late.
All right, so Alan's going to go ahead and get this cut for me. So one die, and it covers all 4 of those stamps. Just put a little bit of tape so everything stays in place nicely.
Sent
What?
Cookies.
Oh, Sheila sent cookies. Very cute.
Oh,
Very cute. Okay. You try not to shoot it across
It
the
looked like it was
table?
gonna- yeah.
Yeah, we've done that before. We've done that on camera. I have, anyway. Okay, so here we go. This is where the magic happens. Ah, they just start to come out. All right, let's go ahead and take that away. And I'm going to go ahead and put this away now, because we have all of our little flowers that we're going to need. And so now here are my beautiful flowers. Aren't they pretty? Yay! Love them. So now I'm going to add that into here. And I have a beautiful mix of colors. And you can even tell the difference between them because of how I stamped them differently this time. Slightly different colors, different technique, but they're really, really pretty. Okay, so next up, ooh, sorry about that noise. Ooh. All right, here's my little bag of goodies, my little bag of tricks. And I'm going to show you what I've got here. Some of it, what we've got started. Okay, so using that largest die, this love die right here, that big die right there, I cut the word love. I cut it out of just any red. This is a real thin cardstock. I just cut it out of any red that I have. And you want to do this the day before. Then you're going to grab your glassy accents and put this on a scrap piece of paper or something, but you're literally going to load this up with glossy accents. Just pour it, gob it everywhere. Try and avoid the little holes there, because I still like to have those little holes, right? But you can see this is kind of thick. See how thick that is? I mean, I really gob it on there really, really well. That's just the way I do it. I like it that way. I like it to be really, really thick. So I cut 2 of them. I did one of them. You let this sit for, I don't know, about 24 hours is probably good. And then you get that beautiful kind of look of lacquer. Isn't that gorgeous? That is just so pretty. I love it. I think it's so gorgeous. I'm going to take, and I'm actually going to adhere this other one behind it just to kind of help straighten this one out, because it does start to kind of bend a little bit. So I'm going to get this out. And then I also cut one in black, and that's going to give me a shadow. Now, I could have used that larger shadow die, but I wanted that shadow to literally just kind of peek out the edge. I didn't want it to wrap all around it. I just want it to kind of peek out the side like that. And I think it looks really, really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Some craft glue. This is our craft glue. This goes on white. Ew, I got a mess here. Goes on white, but it dries clear. Okay. Goes on white, it dries clear. I'm going to put that on the back of my love here. And I'm just going to be a little careful as I do this. I don't want to really gob it on, so I'm being just a little gentle with it.
Where you put that?
That's,
Oh, on the black?
no. Get up in that corner there a little bit, up in that corner. Want to get those corners so everything lays nicely. There we go. So that is going to go, let's go like that. That's going to go on this other red one. It just gives me a little bit more of a foundation. It's going to help to straighten it out a little bit. If you want to skip this step, you probably could. Get everything all lined up there. Make sure it's lined up really well. Now this glue dries pretty fast, so you want to get it all in place kind of quickly. And like I said, the glue goes on white, but it will dry clear. Now I'm going to have this underneath and just sit there for a moment. The next thing I want to bring out, well, that is, actually it's probably dry. It dries pretty fast on just regular paper. See how it helps to kind of straighten it and flatten it out a bit? Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the shadow behind it. I always put the glue on the piece that's going on the top. That way I don't end up with it, you know, showing where I don't want it to show. So I want it to be all kind of off to the right a little bit. Actually, more off to the left. This is going to be off to the right. So I want the glue to be off to, when I turn it over, it's going to be the right side of this a little bit. Just like this. Just a little bit. It doesn't take a lot. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and position that. Let me put this in my hands. Sorry, I'm going to get a little quiet here for a moment while I position it. Because I want to make sure it's all straight and it all gets positioned properly. And that gives me a little bit of offset shadow off to the left. Kind of bend it, hold it down, kind of straighten it as you need to. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to set this up and I'm going to put my Misty over the top of it, let that sit up there, and that's just going to dry. So next thing we've got is, these are going to be, remember these dies that I told you about, the Modern Geometric cover plates 1, 2, and 3? Well, these are them. This is what cover plate 1 looks like. Let's move this over. This is cover plate 1. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Beautiful for a backdrop on anything, any card that you do. Use it by itself, it looks just like that. Then we've got number 2, which looks like this, almost like stained glass. Isn't that pretty? I love these. Again, use it by itself if you want. It's stunning. If I mix that 1 and 2, look at what I get now. Look how pretty that is. That's 1 over 2. Look how it changes when I put 2 over 1. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just so beautiful. And we've laid everything out so that they all crisscross right in the centers. You get little bits and pieces tucked in and behind. when I do this in different colors, you can really see it. This is all, I love white on white. I just love stacking white. I think it's so pretty. I think I missed popping out a little one right here. There it is. A little piece of it there. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. And then here is number 3. Look how gorgeous that is. That one looks like Easter to me. I think it's so pretty. Again, use it by itself. Use it with 2, or I'm sorry, with 1. So this is 1 and 3. Look how pretty. This is what happens if I do 3 and then 1. And look very carefully, you can see the lines, the edges coming out behind it from the other one. So, so pretty. Here again, I can use, this is 2 over 3. Different look entirely. 3 over 2. You want to get real crazy? Let's put them all together. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. Any order you want to put them in, you get beautiful, gorgeous results no matter what you do. I love them. Pretty. So now the question, you know what? I'm wondering if I want to do it that way. I kind of like it like that. Look how pretty that is. I think I might do that. I think this is 2, then 1, no, 2, 3, and then 1. That's how I have that arranged right now. So pretty. Look at, you get those little patterns where they're framed. All that detail. Anyway, I just love them. Okay. That's how you get these things home and you start playing and you start messing with all different color combinations, and it's just the coolest thing. So I think I'm going to do it in this configuration right here. So I'm going to start gluing. So put your adhesive on the one that is going to be on, you know, like on the top. Shake this down again. I had it standing on its end and I'm running out of it. Just a little bit. A little bit. And honestly, I don't even know if I need very much in here. I'm just going to kind of little dab-a-doo-ya here and there just to get some adhesive in the center areas, just to hold it into place so it's secure, but you don't need a lot. Then I'm going to flip that over and put that on top of 1. Now you want to position this kind of quickly. Make sure you get all those edges lined up. There we go. And I'm going to press and just make sure everything stays where it needs to stay. You know, I love the white on white with these. I love the texture without adding color. You know, because sometimes when you put color in the background, it's going to overpower what you're doing in the foreground, and I don't want that to happen. I want to make sure that in the foreground we're really going to see that love dye, all lacquered. Look how pretty that is. I could leave it just like that. So gorgeous. But I'm going to add that one. We're going to complicate things. Look at that. So pretty. So now this one is going to be the top, right? This combination. So I'm going to flip this over now. You know, another thing I love about these cover plate dies is that they're really staples for your crafting. This particular set, like I said, was the very first set that we had released. They were so hugely popular that we just added to the whole collection with, we have one called Pretty Things, and then our newest one was the plaid, which is what you saw in the original card that I did. But they can be used year after year after year. They're not seasonal. These aren't things that are going to go out of style either, because it's just geometrics and they're just beautiful.
Pamela was asking, are those hard to design?
Oh, yes. Pamela is asking if these are hard to design. The answer is yes. These are very hard to design because you have to be really careful so that no matter how you layer them in any combination, you will get, and what is that? Is that like, how does that go? It's 3
times 3 times 3.
Is it 27 different combinations, I think?
That's what it came
No
up
matter what combination you do, you will always see bits and pieces of every single one, and it changes your patterns constantly. Look how stunning that is. Isn't that gorgeous? I love these. I think it gives you incredible versatility in your crafting. Okay, so we have those done. Now, I wanted to have my white card base, which is what I've got here, but I didn't want to just have white in the background. I mean, it looks beautiful, but then I thought, what happens if I put some silver in the back? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That kind of mirror effect. Gorgeous. So gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Yeah, the mirror is cool.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can almost see the camera up above there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put this on here. I cut this a little bit smaller than my card base. What's wrong?
I can see your face.
Oh, you can see. Oh, you can see me there. Look at that. That's funny. Wow, that was funny.
What's
Weird,
that, the
but
Joker?
funny.
Kind of looked like the Joker.
Oh, it looked like the Joker? That was weird. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card base. I'm going to try not to get my face in there again. I cut it a little bit smaller than my card base because I didn't want to see that, that edge just in case it wasn't perfect. And I know I'm covering up all of my edges when I put this on here now. So that's going to fit beautifully on there. So again, this is going to go on the top. I'm going to put my adhesive. Patty is saying, will this be too thick to mail? No, I don't think so, especially if you use a lighter cardstock. I actually had one of those doubled up in there, which you didn't need to do. That was just me playing. But if you use a lighter cardstock, it's not going to be as thick as mine is going to turn out to be. Mine is probably going to turn out to be close to 1/4 of an inch. But again, I used 110-pound cardstock for all 3 of these. You don't have to do that. You can use a thinner cardstock. In fact, if I had done this in any color other than white, I would have used a thinner cardstock. So, you know, you can see the difference. Like this is my red cardstock, and you can see how much thinner that is. If I had cut all these layers out of a thinner, I think this one is probably maybe 65-pound cardstock. The red is. If I had done it with that, yours will not be anywhere near as heavy as mine. You'll still get all that beautiful texture and dimension and stuff. You know, you get to see all the colors come through, or just the layers if you're using one color for the whole thing. But again, yours won't be as thick. So I tend to use heavy cardstock. It's just, I don't know, I just like it. But again, if this were going to go in the mail, I probably would not use this cardstock. I tend to give cards instead of mailing them too. So yeah, it doesn't have to be as thick as mine. It's totally up to you. I think I beat my answer to death there, didn't I? Did I say things over and over like too much? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit more adhesive in some areas. And this is going to be going on a slick surface, so we're going to have to give this a little bit of time to dry. I just realized I probably should have used a tape instead on this one, but we'll see what happens. There we go. Okay, I'm going to line up my edge. You don't want to be moving this around. You want this to stay. So I'm going to move this over here. Make sure I got all my edges lined up right. Okay, I'm going to hold this for just a moment. Isn't that so pretty? Doesn't that look gorgeous? I think it looks so pretty. I'm going to hold this for a moment. I've got, you know, you can use a book. You don't have to use your MISTI. Grab a book. Use whatever you want. I'm going to slide this off camera. And I'm going to set my MISTI down on it and let that be. And that's going to take just a moment or two to dry. So next up, I've got the love word here. I want to work with these little guys here now. So you remember I have this over here. I have the word always. Okay. Now here again, you can layer these as much or as little as you want. I'm layering them up. If you don't want to, you can, so I've got 2 white and 2 black. I'm going to get those all layered. That's going to make it thicker. If you want to just use 1 white and 1 black, you can do that, and it's not going to be as thick. Okay? I also tend to use more layers for camera work like I'm doing right now too, because in person the dimension looks one way, but on camera the camera doesn't often show off as much dimension. So that's another reason why I really layer things up on the camera, so you guys can really see what's going on. So here I've got this one die here that says always. Okay, we've got one here, it says what does it say? Always, forever, you, and. So those are all of the dies right there that you're going to see in here. And I've cut always twice out of white and twice out of black. I may not even use the second black one, we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead, I should probably get a different one of these. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive on the back. I'm going to layer up 2 of the always. Don't use layers if you don't want. I'm going to lay these on here. Double that up, and it just gives me a little bit thicker word. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a little adhesive on here again. Just a wee bit. Has anybody seen the new Santa Claus movie? We're watching that tonight.
We are?
We are. I am excited about it. I love the Santa Claus movies with Tim the Toolman Taylor. Okay, so here we go. Tim Allen. I just layered that over there just a little bit. I think I'm going to leave it with just the one. Look how pretty that is. Actually, do it on there, you can see it better. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to leave the second one, and I'll use that another day. All right. All right, so here's all of our little bits and pieces. We have our card base. Make sure it's opening in the correct direction. I've got the love. I've got the always, which is going to go right here. And I need some flowers, right? Ooh, Jack Ryan. Oops. Yes, Jack Ryan, Kathy says. I love those. Okay, so I'm going to grab some of these flowers here. What?
Yeah, we watched those. We watched all those, right?
The Jack Ryans, yeah,
Yeah.
we completed the season. I don't know if they have a new season or not, though.
I think there was 2, wasn't there?
We watched, I think, the first season. The Bourne movies are my favorite. I love the Bourne movies. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start layering some of these up. I'm not going to glue anything down here yet. We're going to kind of play and tuck and play. And I'm just going to kind of lay some of these around. And we're going to end up tucking in some of the greenery too. I think I had one over here, and then this one was up here, and then I'm going to tuck some green in there too. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got my loaded tape glider. And I'm going to start with some green. And I'm just going to kind of start playing and tucking one in here. I like to have some of these things in here before I start tucking things in and gluing them down. So next I'm going to do this flower. I'm actually thinking I might put a tiny little bit, if I can find it. Where's my, here it is, haha. I have a little piece, I have a tiny little piece right here. I'm going to put this teeny tiny little piece of foam tape right up here. And that's going to give me a tiny little bit of lift top of it. There we go. There's that. I'm going to do this one. Maybe right there. And I think I'll put this one in there. Looking at my original design and deciding if I want to change it up a bit. So I'm going to tuck that up under, just like so. I am going to put a tiny little bit of foam up under the top of that flower. Just a teeny little piece. It just lifts it a little bit. You don't even have to take the tape off of there. I'm going to bend that a bit. Or not tape, but the paper off of there, because it's not really going to matter. I guess you could if you wanted it to stick, so it's up to you. So I'm going to tuck that end in a bit right there, so you can't see the end of that flower. And then I'm going to put, I think I might use a couple of these, which I didn't have before with my others. I'm going to add a couple of these in there instead. It's a little bit different than how I did it originally, but I'm just kind of playing. Tuck that in there, kind of cover that up. And I'm even going to tuck maybe another one of these somewhere in here just to give that extra little bit of texture and shape. Lift that up there. There you go. There's that. And then I've got these that I've got to deal with now too. So I'm going to put one of these little leaves here. Let's see. Let's have that come out like that. What?
Bill's asking if they work on fabric.
If what works on fabric?
Just put dyes. Any dyes.
Ooh, do the dyes work on fabric? You know, I don't know. I seriously don't know. I mean, they're just regular dyes, so if any other, they're not designed for fabric. You could try them and see, but I've never done it. I've never tried. That's a good question. All right, this one's hitting something. Let me tuck that little puppy in there. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and get some tape on the back of this. My tape is going to be stronger than my glue. So on these thicker areas where I can put that tape, I'm going to put it. And then in the areas where I didn't put tape, I am going to add some glue. There we go. Just a little bit. Ah, I need another hand. There we go. I don't want to have to reposition it, so I'm going to be careful when I put it down that it is where I want it to be. Hold that there for a moment. So I have that tape on there in the thicker areas, so that's going to be good. It's not going to be moving around real easy. And then I have my little always here, which needs some adhesive. Just a little bit.
You're putting a lot on there.
I know, it's coming out quick.
Where's it going?
Huh?
Where's it going?
It's going right here, but I probably didn't need that much, but at least it doesn't really matter. I got it where I need it, and wherever it wasn't needed, it will just dry and it'll be fine. There we go. There we go. So pretty. And that's it. who wouldn't want to get that card? I love it. I think it's gorgeous. Let me move this stuff out of the way. So here was the original that I did with the plaid cover plate dies that layer in the exact same way. They layer in the same way as these geometrics. So here it is with the plaid. And here's the real fancy schmancy one with the modern geometric. Isn't that gorgeous? I might just send myself that card. That was a nobody's loving me.
It's like sending yourself flowers.
Oh, so yeah, so this is the one that you will see right here. This is the one that you'll see in Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine in their, must-have 10 new products, and that was for the Love Dies. So, and then this one is the V2, version number 2, with the beautiful modern geometric that looks very flowery in the background there.
And without the flowers, it's more masculine, I think.
Without the flowers, it's more masculine?
I think so.
You mean this one?
No. Yeah,
this one?
Yeah, with the mirror back there. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, you could
frilly.
Well, I think it's more frilly, especially since I used a lot of white. It's white on white back here. But if you used more masculine colors, you could do this in. Yeah, if you did more masculine colors in the background there, you could definitely do something. Have it be a card for your husband or your boyfriend or whoever. I don't know. Okay, we ready?
Yes.
All right. Wow, that went by fast. That actually went by really, really fast. I was a little bit worried, about how long it was going to take to do that card, but I think it went by pretty fast. Actually, the prep work wasn't very hard either. It only took me a few minutes to get everything die cut, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We do have a prize because we always have a giveaway at the end of every one of these, and I think the giveaway this time is going to be the Big Word Love Die, since that was our feature today. Yay! So, thank you, Kathy. She likes my sweater. Thank you. Okay, if anybody wants some really cool looking sweaters, by the way, my favorite store is Sundance. I don't know if you guys have checked out Sundance, and we actually have a Sundance here, and that's where all my really cool sweaters are from, is from Sundance. Love it. Anyway, all right, so the giveaway today is the Big Word Love Die. So we need a name.
You have to say Sundance is a catalog.
Sundance Catalog. Yeah, it's Sundance Catalog. We actually have a store here. What is it? Is it Robert Redford's company, I think it is, and they have gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. This sweater was actually in, I think it was last year, but they've got amazing, amazing stuff. Anyway, it's my favorite store. But anyway, hopefully you guys have had time to get a message out there so that we can draw your names. So we do a giveaway at the end of every one of our classes. The only way that we know that you're here is if you leave us a message. It could be a hello, it could be a, the card sucks, I don't know. Doesn't matter what it says. I will say this, you probably have a better chance of us calling your name if it's nothing mean. About me anyway. Say whatever you want about Alan. No, kidding. Okay. All right, here we go. Sheila Scott. Sheila Scott, congratulations. You are tonight's winner, and you won the Big Word Love Dies that we featured on today's card. Yay! So I need you, Sheila, please, to send us an email. Send it to customer service at LDRScreative.com, and I need your complete name. We need your mailing address, and we will get your dies shipped out. If we get the email tonight, we'll get your dies shipped out tomorrow, and they'll get out before Christmas, and you'll have them. It'll be like a belated Christmas gift. You will have them next week, and it'll just be wonderful. It'll be like a little extra little Christmas, stocking stuffer from LDRS Creative. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We are going to be here next week, believe it or not. We are going to do it. We're going to plow right on through Christmas. And I do actually know what I'm going to be working with. We're going to be working with some layered floral dies next week. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be doing something that will be absolutely beautiful for spring, summer, Valentine's Day, whatever you want to use it for. It's kind of like one of those everyday sets. And so I'm really looking forward to that. So hopefully you guys will be here. It will be same time next Thursday, 7 p.m. And it's about an hour long, and hopefully we'll have some fun and learn something along the way. So everybody, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, Happy Hanukkah, all of those things. We celebrate Christmas, so Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you still have a wonderful time, and we are wishing you we're wishing you well, and we're wishing you good cheer. So everybody have a great night, fantastic weekend, a happy holiday. Stay safe, please, with this weather, and come join us back next week. Bye, everybody.